How's it going, everyone? Bulls postgame edition of Windy City Digits. Bulls drop one tonight, 126-109. Get outscored 40-24 in the fourth quarter, even though the last 4 points really were just kind of crap calls for double technical and lousy flagrant.
Potty language. Wow. This is a PG show, Mr. Shank.
You want to see rage? You talked about rage in the last one.
The rage in our last podcast?
Yeah. Look,
Why, are you roiding up?
They showed some life. Zach looked like he showed some life. Zach came out at the start of the fourth quarter, and the bench was just flat. We had no one out there scoring. Alvarado led them. Heck? And he went off on a run. They scored 9 straight against us. Took a 9-point lead and never looked back.
I texted you, said, "Who is this guy?" He's
the guy that killed us tonight.
I know you said that. The front court for them scored 55, 70 points, man. Okay, and I know people give Vooch a hard time, and he can't move his feet, but our guards are not guarding very well. They can't stop penetration, and they still can't guard 3-point shots. They shot 12 for 29 from threes. I mean, that's pretty good percentage.
I make an argument that. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I say the guy that played the best defense tonight was Troy Brown Jr. Probably played the best defense.
He actually did play a good D. Caruso has kind of looked not so good lately, man.
I don't know if it's that, and because he keeps grabbing that wrist. Like, he keeps grabbing that wrist in the middle of the game. So I don't know if that's still bothering him. I
agree. I've seen it too. And I was kind of surprised. I thought Zach played an amazing first half. He played a really good game, and his defense came alive too. They kept on saying in the announcements, I think Stacey was saying that Io said something to him, and that he was playing more aggressive, which is great. He shouldn't need that. That's sad. But he played really well. And I've been concerned about his knee. Is his knee not that bad? Did he have something drained? Did he have something done? Was it feeling better than normal? Because I was giving him, some benefit of the doubt lately for his poor play because of his knee. So
this is his third game in 4 nights, and he looked fine.
He did. He looked really good. That dunk was an amazing dunk.
Yeah, I texted you right in the middle of that game. I'm like, you know what? Finally, some life. Finally, some fire and emotion out of this team, right? Because Zach was pissed off when he threw down that dunk.
Yep, and then it fell apart again. I mean, they literally looked tired, stepped behind.
It's the same. Look, it's the same. It's the same thing we talked about in the I think it was the last post game or the last episode we talked about.
Yeah.
Zach has to not do the stupid English when he drives to the lane. He's got to dunk the ball. He's got to be aggressive.
Yeah, and he's trying. I'll give it to him. He's trying not to be just a pull up 3-point shooter. He's driving a lot more. But you're right. The English, maybe that's just another step he needs to make because he drove.
That's why he's not getting any calls.
He drove the ball quite a few times, and I like the aggressiveness. But you're right. He needs to. I mean, he can hop, man, dunk the ball just like you said. The free throw advantage again, terrible. And I know. It's not necessarily against the refs all the time because we shot 15 of 19 from the free throw line, and New Orleans 32 of 34.
Yeah,
you lost the game there.
15 more free throws.
Yeah,
15 more free throws. Yeah, so and then, again, that goes back to my thing about we're not aggressive enough when we go to the hole. Like Zach should be getting the line more. Because he's pulling up, or he's throwing that English up, and that's why he's not getting those calls.
Well, okay, so honestly, he was 11 to 13 from the free throw line.
Yeah, but he should have been there more.
Yeah, but it's still pretty good. If you have each player, I mean, DeMar kind of averages 7 free throws a game. when he's starting. I thought I saw something like that before.
Something like in the fourth quarter, he's like averaging.
And that was really high for a player. So 11-13, man. I don't know how much more you could ask for that.
Well,
our rebounding, we were again 10 under in rebounds. So, what are the positives from that game?
Jeez.
Oh, come on! Just positives.
I usually try to look. So, I try to look for the silver lining in all of this.
Well, do a positive. Come on, positive.
Troy Brown Jr.
Oh, for crying out loud, man! All right, Zach Lavine, 39 points. That's a positive. Coby White, 9 of 15, 5 of 8 from 3.
Okay, Coby White was shooting well.
Positive.
I mean, Coby scored 23.
The assists were 25. That's not when we were doing really good and we had that 11-game winning streak. We were around 30 to 40 assists.
Yeah,
it's not.
So let's see.
It's better than some of the other games. So negatives, turnovers. Zach had 5 turnovers.
Yep.
You can't do that. Caruso had 3 turnovers. Coby White, 3 turnovers. We had 15 turnovers.
I had 1, yeah. So,
yeah.
I just think at some point, right, we keep making excuses. We don't have Lonzo. We don't have Patrick Williams. DeMar didn't play tonight.
Yeah,
Caruso's still kind of hurt. Right?
Yeah.
There's always an excuse. You know what? It can't be that way anymore. Like, look, you don't even know if you're going to get Lonzo back.
I agree. No more.
Get Lonzo back.
No more.
And there's a real possibility we could fall out of 5 all the way to 8.
Yep, we could be in the playing game, man.
That's a real possibility. I mean, we talked about they're sitting at 42 right now with 9 games left to go.
Now, we did say this, by the way. We did say this when Zach went down to begin with and we went on that 11-game winning streak. We were concerned about all the injuries. We thought we might drop, and then we lucked out. I think this is exactly where we were going to be with all the injuries anyway. But no more excuses.
Yeah, no more excuses. But look, okay, so DeMar didn't play tonight, right? It totally had a different feel with Zach as the primary scorer and the lead guy. This is with Caruso and with Patrick Williams, right?
Yep.
Keep in mind when Zach was out, he didn't have Caruso. He didn't have Patrick Williams, right? No, obviously no Zach. Yet you always felt like when DeMar was in control there in the fourth, we were close in the fourth quarter, you always felt like we were going to pull that game out, right? No matter what happened in the fourth quarter, you felt like you were going to be in it. Tonight, as soon as they fell down like 5, 6, 8, I didn't get that feeling at all tonight.
Well, I didn't either, just because of the way they've been playing in general. That doesn't have anything to do with just DeMar being on the floor. We were in a groove back then. We had a lot more things going for us. Our offense was scoring at high octane when DeMar was scoring too.
Yeah, we were doing pretty good tonight until the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden
we did.
Fell apart.
But you know what? Part of the bad thing tonight is we really only had 3 guys scoring. It was Coby, Zach, and maybe Vooch. And Vooch didn't even have a big game, but he's 7-11, 16-9, and we barely went to him.
You and I texted about this earlier, right? That Ayo is not adapting well to coming off the bench.
But he started today.
But his minutes have obviously gone down. Like tonight, he sat down a little bit more because Coby was hot from the field from the offense. And it looked like
they needed
and because Caruso's back, right? It wasn't Ayo in toward the end of the game. And you could tell when he comes out of the game, he's frustrated. You didn't see that when a couple of weeks back or like a month ago, you didn't see that frustration coming out from him. Now, I don't know if that's just, a rookie learning how to play and learning the league, but you're going to need him in the playoffs, especially coming off the bench. You're going to need him to play well.
Hey, question for you. I I was impressed when Zach was coming out, and he did look like a different Zach. And, when DeMar was playing without Zach, like we said, I think there was better ball movement with DeMar on his own. And I feel like there was really good ball movement again. To your complaint for a while, do you think having these two ISO players, heavy ISO players, playing at the same time is hindering our offense?
I think I thought about this a little bit when we were texting back and forth tonight. I think it only becomes a problem when those guys try to take their shots out of the flow of the offense. And we've talked about this a couple games back where like both Zach and DeMar were in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And we felt like there was way too much one-on-one. Like the DeMar got the ball and he'd hang on to it like 6-8 seconds. And he's trying to get to a spot, which I get, right? But the ball stopped moving. And then Zach would get the ball. And then he's trying to take the guy one-on-one. And the ball stops moving. At the beginning of the season, I don't know if it's just because it was Lonzo out there and kind of controlling the offense, but at the beginning of the year, it worked. Those guys got their shots, right? It made it difficult for teams to guard us because they both were getting their shots. So I don't know if it's just because it was Lonzo controlling it and saying, look, ball's got to move.
Maybe.
Or if it's different now because
even with Lonzo,
because DeMar's had such a great year.
Yeah, but even sometimes when Lonzo was in the game, I mean, he was back waiting for a 3-point shot oftentimes too. He didn't always take the ball up the floor. It was, give the ball to DeMar, taking up the ball up the floor, and they had set plays. So it's really hard to tell, but you're right. No more excuses. The Bulls don't look good. I'm nervous about the playoffs. There's got to be some kind of drastic turnaround. And I hope it happens. Otherwise, we're going to start talking about after getting ousted from the playoffs real quick or not making it through the game in play, the play-in game. We're going to have to reconstruct some of the team.
We talked about that a little bit too in a previous episode, but I mean, look, now we're 3.5 games behind Boston for the 4th spot, right? And Boston obviously is on fire, right? So Cleveland, we are 1 game ahead of, and we play them on Saturday night, right? That's a big game. Toronto is tied with Cleveland for the 7th spot. So there's a chance we could fall out of the top 6. There's a real chance. There is. Going from number 1 to falling out of the top 6 and having to do a play-in game.
I agree,
which would be kind of a shame with the start that we had to the season, right?
Yep.
The teams behind them, look, Toronto's in the 7th spot, and they're playing well. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. Brooklyn's right behind them at 38 wins, and they're 6-4. And obviously now with Kyrie being able to play in home games, they're going to start to move up, right? So
I think this should have been a winnable game. Cleveland should be a winnable game. I mean, I know they're all on the road. The Knicks should be a winnable game, and the Wizards.
So what number do you think we need to be at? Like, in other words, like I think out of the last 9 games, how many games do you think of those we need to win to finish in the top 6?
Okay, I could tell you we need to win 3 of the next 4, and we're on a good track. If we win 3 of the next 4, we'll make the playoffs. I don't think we'll be in a play-in. But we have some really tough games when we get home after this string. It's going to be interesting to see if DeMar's back. How about you? I think you could go. You literally 9 games. I think you could go 5-4, and you're still going to be in the playoffs. And not
you'll be in the playoffs, play-in. But I don't want to be. No, in that
I don't think you'll be in the play-in if you go 5-4.
Well, if you win, you beat Cleveland on Saturday. That's going to be a big deal.
Correct.
I think then you get the head-to-head advantage against them. So, that would put you 2 games clear of them. We still have 1 game left with Milwaukee. I think we still have 1 game left with Miami. But Miami's already sealed a playoff spot, and now they're just playing for positioning. By the time they play Miami, they may not have anything left to play for. So they may not be playing a whole lot of people by that point. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I feel like we have to get to 46 wins. Like, we got to win 5 of the next 9. I think if we get to 46, I think we'll be safe.
Barely. I think I agree. So we'll see if we eat our words. So we're looking for the digit 46.
Digit 46 is what we're looking for.
That's what we predict. And on that
that's what we're going to read. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We really do appreciate everyone's been watching and tuning in. A bunch of new subscribers lately. A lot of you now tuning in, checking us out for the first time. We do talk a lot of Chicago sports, basically Bears, Bulls, Cubs, Sox.
We want to be able to do this.
We do a lot of Bulls postgame.
We want to do this.
Hopefully Saturday night will be a better one than tonight. But Bulls drop a tough one tonight. Not kind of blown out in the fourth quarter. We don't dig it tonight, 126 to 109 by 17. So
no diggity.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you had a chance, hit that subscribe button, hit the like. It really helps us out, gets us more views by other people. Hit the bell and get notified for future episodes.
You like that song? No diggity.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.